Hello and welcome to another episode of Making a Difference. I'm your host, Cindy Ashton, coming to you from New York City, and we are going to head down to Tampa, Florida, where they have some of those beautiful white beaches in the world. And we're going to meet a woman who is the queen of branding bosses. Her name is Nadia Kamitskaya. Hello, Nadia, and welcome to the show.
Hi, Cindy. Thank you for having me here. I'm excited to be here.
I'm so excited that you're here and you have the most exotic and fun glasses. I love it. Tell us a little bit about how you and your business is making a difference.
Absolutely. So Branding Bosses focuses on helping startups grow their business. It started with me being passionate about being a startup myself and learning everything about marketing and not really being able to find a company to help me, mostly because I was 16 and just starting out. I was still in high school, but I was passionate. And when I couldn't find anybody to help me, I started learning everything I could about marketing, branding, social media management, and that propelled me to starting multiple businesses in the branding and marketing world, getting my MBA and getting my master's in marketing, and really just helping startups grow and be what they can be to the fullest.
Nadia, I love that. You started your first business at 16 years old. What was that business?
It was a tutoring service. So I
think
learned
that's
quickly.
That's great. You're like, I'm going to tutor and I'm not just going to put an ad in the Penny Saver, which is how I actually started 26 years ago, was an ad in the Penny Saver. But I'm going to actually learn everything I can to actually build a real business. I think that's absolutely brilliant. So talk to us about what are some of the, what inspires you to do what you do, to really help these startups get on their feet and build a sustainable brand? What's the bigger inspiration in addition to your own history?
I've seen a lot of young entrepreneurs struggle. I've been both in the USF incubator and the University of Tampa incubator, and I've seen companies and startups have great ideas, but they don't have the marketing behind it. They don't know how to build their own brand. They don't know their target audience, and they are just kind of throwing darts in the dark, and they're lost. And nobody really helps them. So there's a lot of books and there's a lot of information, but to siphon through all of that while you're trying to build a business is pretty hard, pretty impossible, unless you are very A-type personality or have a big team. So that's where my passion comes from, is helping them build their brand in a way that really makes them a sustainable company, not just I'm a startup that isn't sure of what I'm doing.
Nadia, you talk about building a brand, and most people don't actually understand that. They think branding is your logo and your fonts, and it's really not. Talk to us about how people can make a difference with their own businesses by building a brand. What does that actually look like?
So I always like to describe a brand as it's what people feel, it's what people think of when they hear your name, when they hear your business's name. It is way beyond just a logo and the color palette, like you mentioned. It's the emotions you invoke. It's the connections you build. And it's the way you present your company to the world. I always believe that you have to have a personal brand and a business brand to really be successful and to have a strong business model to grow. And that's what we really help with, is going beyond just a logo, going beyond just a brand guide, and really getting down to who is your target audience, what is your voice, what is your message, and staying consistent across all platforms.
Nadia, that's really wise, because a lot of people have a real lack of brand consistency. You look on their Facebook and it says one thing, and you look on their LinkedIn and it says one thing, and then you've got a pretty picture here, but it's a different picture here, and there's really not that experience or that feel that you're talking about. What's a client that you've had that you think that's really making a difference, that you've helped build a strong brand with?
I have a doctor that we work with, and she's a fairly new client out of Orlando, Dr. Udine Harry, and she is absolutely phenomenal. When we started with her, she was kind of everywhere in the sense of she worked with multiple branding marketing companies. Everybody was all over the place in that regard. And what we helped her do is really solidify her brand, solidify her messaging, get everything across social consistent, make everything into one website rather than her having 10 separate websites. And we helped her solidify her brand, which really helped her grow not only her audience, but her revenue and just her overall brand as well.
Nadia, I love it. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for really showing us today and our audience of how you truly can make a difference by going beyond just trying to solve a problem and solution, but building a sustainable brand. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And for those of you tuning in, thank you for tuning into yet another episode of Making a Difference. If you would like to connect with Nadia, please go to dailyadbrief.com, and we will see you on another episode very soon.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.